What's up, everybody? My name is Wayne Supreme. You can call me Wayne. And today I want to talk about an issue I'm having in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. You'll see in the gameplay that I have up on the screen here really quickly the issue that I have. Me and my friends, we run into a team of people using RPGs in this game, and they're just clearing us off of domination points and hitting us from range in really just kind of ridiculous ways. And that's the issue that I think nobody's really talking about in this game, either online or on the Modern Warfare subreddit. I haven't seen anybody really complaining about this in the same way that it's been affecting me, and it may just be all anecdotal, I don't know, but I think if we look back to maybe Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 2, we see kind of a shift in the game. With Modern Warfare 2, we can all remember all of the noob tubes and grenade launchers and thumpers and scavenger, one-man army, danger close with RPGs as their secondary.
Taking the lead.
And how annoying that was for all of us. And then we can look at what happened with Black Ops 1 just directly after that game. And we can see how they kind of turned down all of the blast radius and all the explosive damage and splash damage, I guess is a good way to put it, when it's not hitting a vehicle or a kill streak. And I know that this game really wanted to have a more realistic and gritty tone, but I think there's definitely something to be said for having a gameplay balance. You know, it's just really not fun whenever there's somebody on another team being able to shoot straight into a room, let's say a B flag that's indoors thing, maybe on Hackney Yard, and just clear everybody off the flag without really having to push in, throw in any stuns or flashes or smokes, and actually play the game. They're able to just kind of almost throw out a miniature Predator missile. And speaking of miniature Predator missiles, the Joker rockets as well, that's really another big issue. I think it's really just all launchers in this game, especially RPGs and Joker rockets, that really seem to be the most irritating. On the screen now you'll see some gameplay that I have, just me and a buddy of mine testing out the blast radius and the one rocket kill range, I guess, for the RPGs. And as well, I also did some tests on how just ridiculously straight the RPGs shoot in this game. I mean, there is no variation to where the rockets are going, and you know, if they fly off course, I mean, they're pretty much just point and shoot, and you're going to be good to go. And I think that's another big issue that Infinity Ward isn't having to look at, mainly because everybody's just been really upset with the M4A1 and the 725, and I get it as well. And also, if you're wanting to point out that I'm being kind of hypocritical, don't mind me using the M4 and the 725 in this game. This game plays from maybe 2 weeks ago or so, and I figured while it was all broken and overpowered, I might as well just go ahead and try to get those guns gold. That's something I'm wanting to be able to do, maybe try and go for Damascus, you know, for the completionist in this game, so I figured there wasn't a better time to do it. But at any rate, like I said, just don't look at me being hypocritical or anything, but I think that maybe there were so many people that were worried about the 725s, and like I said, rightfully so, and the M4, that they hadn't really stopped to either play around with the RPG, and we haven't seen kind of how bad it's going to get, or they just haven't been as upset with it, because for every 2 RPG kills, they're getting killed by an M4 and a 725 maybe 10 times or even more than that. And so it hasn't really set into them just how irritating and annoying it can be, and how broken of a gameplay mechanic it can be. Another really bad spot that I've noticed is the Joker rockets on Euphrates Bridge. I'll probably throw some gameplay up as well of just kind of showing in case you don't play 10v10 or anything like that, or you're just not aware. They basically just take the Joker rocket and shoot it from spawn straight onto the bridge, and then they don't have to worry about, you know, getting anybody off once they get up there. It's really almost like they have just unlimited Predator missiles. They can get up close, shoot the Joker, then rush the B flag, and then if they're killed off of it, they just spawn back in, shoot the rockets again, and rinse and repeat until they have cleared off the flag. Again, I just want to stress that I'm aware that, you know, Infinity Ward wanted to go for a more gritty and realistic style in this game, and having, I guess, accurate representations of launchers and launcher damage is a good way to show that. But like I said previously, I think there is something about at some point you have to balance gameplay mechanics, especially in the multiplayer section of the game, to where it's kind of in line with everything else. If not, then there's no reason to use any other secondary, really, especially if you're playing any sort of game like Headquarters or Domination, or any just kind of location objective based game mode. There's really not a reason not to use it right now. You know, there's just really not an incentive to use any sort of other secondary, or even really, unless you count the 725 previously, there's not much of a reason to use any other secondary, or I guess primary, with Overkill. And honestly, I don't think Infinity Ward plans to change this at all, mainly because of the fact that they're wanting to allow newer players to kind of ingratiate themselves in the game and find easier ways to get kills, and keep them activated with the gameplay, or interested, I guess is another way to say it. You know, nobody has fun going 2-15 or 5-20 for the first week or 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks that you start playing, if you've just now started playing first-person shooters. And so I think that that's another factor in their decision making. It's not just that they wanted to go gritty and realistic and quote-unquote back to their roots. I think it's also kind of just an easier way for people to get ingratiated with the game, and to have fun. But at some point, there's a line that has to be drawn between new player fun and hardcore fan base that's been playing the game for a long time, and then it's just ruining, like I said, those location objective game modes. I mean, anything like Headquarters or Domination or Hardpoint, even anything like Demolition, if that ever comes to be, or potentially even Search and Destroy, depending on how you use the rockets. It's just kind of a cheesy way to get a lot of kills, and I really wish they'd do something about it. And I don't want this video to just be complaining and ripping on Infinity Ward. I don't think I've went too hard on them. I love the game. It's probably my favorite Call of Duty since Black Ops 1, maybe Black Ops 2. And I think that there are ways that they can fix it, maybe just decreasing first the flight path on the RPG. I mean, there needs to be just a little bit more variation. I can't remember if it was Call of Duty 4 or if it was Modern Warfare 2 that had really good, the RPG had a lot of damage, but it was really just not very accurate from distance. I think you probably saw earlier how far away I was shooting. It was on Hackney Yard. I'm up on the tower shooting at my friend across in the A building. And it only took me 1 or 2 tries to get the rocket to just hit him straight on. And so that's a problem that I think that they could fix, maybe just add a little bit more variation to the flight path, and then beyond that, maybe just toning down the damage, or if not the damage output, at least the blast radius. That way they have to be a little more accurate with it. They can't just blindly fire the RPG into a doorway, or they can't just blindly fire the Joker rocket up onto Euphrates Bridge or any other location, and get anybody around it like it's a Predator missile. I think those are the 2 things that they could do. I'm sure there's other things like weapon handling. I think that the launchers actually handle pretty well, kind of like assault rifles, to be honest. You can move around pretty well with them. There's not much input lag, for lack of a better term. And so I think it really just comes down to the blast radius, and the flight trajectory, or the variation in the flight path. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, whether or not you agree with me, or any other unspoken issues that you're having with this game that you're not really seeing anyone else have an issue with. Let me know all of that down in the comment section below. Leave me some constructive criticism. This is my first commentary. I'm really just not very good at it. I'm also kind of sick at the moment. I don't know if you can tell, depending on what I do with this commentary and post. But anyways, just leave me a like, leave me a comment, and maybe think about subscribing. And I'll see you guys in the next one.